being busy didn't mean I was being productive.
Bro, that's a word. Say that one more time.
Being busy did not mean that I was being productive. People will have you chasing their assignment and putting yours on the back burner.
Yeah. But what advice would you give to your unmarried self to prepare you for marriage? What's up, guys? It's Charity S Kid, aka God's Princess, and I'm back with, you already know, Shaquana. We're doing a part 2 to the video. So yeah, today we're just gonna be frying fish and then just talking about womanhood and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about. So we're gonna get started. You ready?
I'm ready.
My first question to you is, I'm 24.
Okay.
What would you tell your 24-year-old self?
Oh, I'm 43. Let me see. 24. By 24, I was 5 years into my marriage already.
Yes.
Not my first marriage. Yeah. And yeah, it was a lot going on around that time.
I feel like 20s are so hard. Because there's so much you don't know and so much you're trying to figure out.
Right. It's so much you thought you knew.
What you think you know,
Until you put yourself in those situations and it's like, oh, I'm not as grown as I thought I was. But no, my 24-year-old self, I would tell her, get a backbone.
Yes.
Get a backbone. Like, at that time, I believe I was trying to be everything for everybody. I had no clue who I was.
Yeah.
So whoever, my husband at the time, whoever he wanted me to be, that's who I was. Whoever the church wanted me to be, that's who I was.
Yeah.
Like my God kids, whoever they wanted me to be, that's who I was. And as I look back, I had no clue who I was. So I would say, yeah, girl, get a backbone.
Get a backbone and know who you are.
And know who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I feel like that's where I am. I feel like I'm still like figuring so much out, but I'm also giving myself grace while I'm figuring it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to see if it was hot enough.
Is it hot?
No.
Okay, how do you know if it's hot, first of all?
When I take a little bit of that and put it in there, if it don't sizzle, it ain't ready.
Okay, so that's why I'm
And if I put fish in there right now, it's gonna be real soggy.
Okay. So don't put your fish in there.
To your crunchy fish, Charity.
Don't put your fish in there too early. Because my fish be soggy. But okay, cool. Alright, so while we're waiting on that, next question is you can give us 2 answers. What advice do you think my generation needs? Like 2 pieces of advice from what you've seen. What do you think we lack that we need to learn and work on? It's a lot. My generation, we're struggling out here, so help us.
But you know what? Before I answer that though, you know what I can say that I admire before I even give you any advice is that your generation is not scared to ask for help.
Yes. Oh my God, because we're struggling.
So because when I was your age, it was kind of like do as I say, not as I do. So we really didn't have anybody to be like open and honest with. Well, I didn't. I ain't gonna say we. I didn't. And I felt like I had to just pretend like it was all good because they expected it to be all good. Yeah. So that's the one thing I have to honestly say I like about y'all generation. But if I could listen to the advice.
Okay, got you.
Because I'm like, we told you. No. But I mean, we all have our hard-headed season. But that would be the only thing. Like literally. Find you somebody that you can trust, that you know has your back, giving you good advice, and just take it. Like Apostle always say, look, eat the fish, spit out the bones. Yeah. But just take it. Like, just take the advice. If it's good, even if it's not good, you can find parts of it. Yeah.
That's true. I feel like I be wanting to figure it out myself though. But you're right though. Yeah. It's like, cause then. And
that's the other part too. Like. Because you do want to kind of figure it out yourself. But if we've already been through it, we can cut that learning curve. Like a lot of the stuff, like when we were coming up, the older people hid their stuff. So they didn't share like what they've done, where they've been. So we had to literally figure it out on our own. And it was kind of like, they used to give us riddles. Like, just saying. Can you just
They
tell
wanted
me?
to tell you without telling you, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can I be? I could just be me on this video.
Yeah.
Can you tell me that you used to be a hoe?
Right.
Like, can you tell me that?
Right.
Like, don't just have me out here thinking I'm the only one struggling with whatever I'm struggling with. Like, tell me how to really get over it. So,
Let me see.
did you hear that?
Oh, so that little mean is ready.
It's ready.
Okay.
It's ready.
Okay. Make sure you hear when you fry your fish. That's when you know you dip it in there. So. And you don't put mustard on there.
I don't.
And season it. And put the fish fry because it's gonna be salty. Y'all, I'm in here taking notes.
Too much charity. You're trying to get some high blood pressure.
Yeah, I gotta work on that. Okay, so my next question to you is, you do a lot. Like when I see like all that you do, I really think of like the popular segment. Like you're a wife, you're a mom, you do ministry, like you have your business and stuff like that. How do you balance it all?
Oh, balance is something that I really had to learn because somebody had to really have a heart-to-heart with me and tell me that being busy didn't mean I was being productive.
No, that's a word. Say that one more time.
Being busy did not mean that I was being productive. Because there was a time where I thought I had to be everywhere, do everything, in order to be kingdom-minded, right?
Yeah.
Like every event, every whatever.
Yeah.
Then that person sat me down. My mentor, Elder Bar, she keeps it 100.
Yeah.
And this was some years ago, and she was like, you all over the place. Like, I'm gonna need you to focus. Like, first of all, I never heard before I got to the Center for Manifestation that my house came first.
Wow.
I was always taught that church came first.
Okay, that's good.
And everything else followed, right? So when I got there, like, no, home comes first. So then that kind of helped me, like, oh, I can actually miss a day and do something with my family,
Oh my
and I'm not
God.
going to hell.
Bro, come on. That's good.
Like what? So now how I balance is I've learned to follow my instructions.
Yeah.
Like, okay, God, what do you want me to put on the hierarchy? Like, what should be this? What should be that? Because one thing about it is if you don't do that, people will have you chasing their assignment and putting yours on the back burner.
Yeah.
So now I know, like, home comes first as a wife, as a mother, then ministry, you know, and then everything else just flows. So that's how I balance everything, because before I was all over the place getting burned out. Like, literally burned out. I'm talking about in the hospital burned out.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so good, because I remember, like, before I got married, like, I've always been serving since I was a kid, but, like, it's like you said, sometimes I have to stay home and make sure my house is clean before I go serve at the empowerment house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
So it's important to have that order. That's really good. Because some people may think, oh, let me go to church and do all this stuff, but shouldn't it's like in your home.
Yeah, but some people would, like, talk like that.
Yeah,
Like,
so they
and
didn't
I didn't.
Yeah.
I literally did not. And it caused a lot of friction too, until I learned that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's get into marriage, because we're married ladies. And how long have you been married again?
So we have been married 12 years this year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so.
A decade is crazy. They need to, they need rewards for this stuff, for real.
A decade? Yeah.
Yes, like a decade is not a small thing. And you won't get that until you've been married. Like, that's a long time.
I know.
But what advice would you give to your unmarried self to prepare you for marriage this time? Like, what would, like, with you being married, what advice did your single self need before getting married?
Completely healed.
What, like, give me some more. What is that?
I am. Like, literally, even from the first time that I got married, I was 19.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready, but I was told to do it.
Yeah.
So I did.
And watch the first video if you don't know what she's talking about with first marriage, because we already talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about it. So I did. But again, I didn't know me. I had never lived away out of home, like away from home. So it was like a real culture shock. But when I say get healed, like when you heal from traumas, from, you know, everything that happened to you growing up or whatever, even the stuff that you caused on yourself, you make decisions differently.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So then you go in, when you go in whole, then you can present like a whole person, and your mind is just in a different place to be able to that person that God has called you to be in that marriage. But
that's good.
yeah.
That's good. I did a video on like my first year of marriage and like what I have learned, and just with me being in my second year, I just wanna.
It's been 2 years already.
Well, I'm in my second.
Oh, you're in your
so it's been.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait,
yeah.
what?
But I think I would tell myself just because, and everybody's different. I feel like so many like girls want to be married, and that's why they're watching so many videos on marriage. But you gotta keep in mind, your marriage is not gonna be like anybody else's marriage. Like, so that's so important to know. But I know for me, like, if I had went in knowing that like the love that I want, I need to give it to myself.
Okay, so then that would be one of the things I would have told myself too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
after the first marriage, I had to go back and do the first work. I had to go to counseling, all that good stuff. But then I had to learn how to love me.
Yes.
And it was like, why was I even, you know, like literally had to learn what I like, how to be with me.
Yes.
Like after that first marriage, I started taking vacations by myself. Like just literally taking myself out to eat. I would be sitting, just reading a book and eating my dinner. Just be myself and I. And I had never done that. So that would be my advice to anybody who's single. Like, know you and love you. Like, really know you and love you before
Really
you
love
decide.
you, bro. Really
like, for
love
real.
you.
Really love you before you decide to jump into that.
It's important because when you don't love you and you're expecting somebody else to love you, you're putting way too much pressure on the other person. And it's really not even their responsibility. You will be in there like telling them what they're supposed to be doing when really they don't have to do anything.
Right.
You know
And the false expectations
that part
will cause a lot of friction.
Right.
Because really, you should have already had that. Before you got in there.
Yeah.
But because you're still looking for it from somebody else.
Yeah.
Somebody who's not God, first of all.
Bruh. Yes. And then even back to the healing part, it's like you're expecting like a wife or husband to fill a void that your parent left there.
Yeah.
And they can't do that. So that goes back to what you said with the healing thing.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's important to like know your triggers, know, you know, what you need to work through and do it. So when you do get married, you don't go blaming them because you came in that marriage with that.
And go to therapy.
Go to therapy.
Get you a therapist.
I've been in therapy since January. Get you a therapist.
Get you a therapist. Have you a spiritual therapist? Have you a regular therapist?
Yes.
Have you? It's a balance. We need both. We need the spiritual side, but we also need the practical side.
You need coping skills.
Yes.
Self-accountability.
I have a therapist and I love her very much. So.
Yes, I love my therapist.
Yes.
Okay. So another question about marriage. Do you believe in being submissive? And if so, like, what does that look like to you and why is that important? Now, let me give you a little backstory.
Okay.
Because when I first got married, I had a very extremist view of what that meant.
Oh, gotcha.
I thought that meant, if this is what he said, just do it.
Oh.
And anybody who's been married knows that ain't gonna do nothing but cause resentment. Because you're not speaking up and saying, like, you're not voicing what you know, need and your thoughts and stuff like that, because your voice still matters, you know, and it's about both of y'all. So, what does submission look like now that you've been married, 12 years?
Yeah, so to me, submission means, one, submitting to God.
Period.
First.
That's key.
Because he look, Christ be the head of us, but no, submitting to God first.
Yeah.
And then trusting God enough to follow my husband.
Wow. That's good.
And when I say follow, I mean like, because I had to learn submission.
Yes.
Like, because I used to be like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But submission don't mean just be a puppy or a doormat.
Right.
It just, like, I can't, but, also give us so many nuggets. He says submission means dove. That means you are under them. They supposed to cover you. Like, that's pretty much what it means. So when these women have all these different things, I ain't submitting.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. First of all, if he's not your husband, you're not supposed to submit.
Right.
So that's
if you're a girlfriend, don't submit.
Don't submit.
That's
but
lazy.
two, yeah, you just have to trust God enough to allow him to lead. Because I tell people all the time, I'm like, my trust is not in my husband. My trust is in God, that God got us. and that God won't allow him to lead us down the wrong
That's so
path. Like, or, you know, take us down somewhere that's going to cause us any type of destruction. Like, that's who my trust is in. Girl, that fish is
That's
pretty.
so pretty. Oh my God, like, I can't do it. Well, yes, I can, but I just got to practice. But
I'm showing you. She don't want to cook on this gas stove.
I'm scared. That's for
I thought she was
experts.
going to get on this gas stove, girl.
I was, but then I saw it was a gas stove. But okay, so you're saying submission is really about your trust in God, not your trust in man.
Like I trust God to guide him so that I can submit under him. I do.
That's it.
I do.
And that's because you're in order. You're doing what the word says. You're
Right.
submitting. That's it.
And also, even in that whole submission part, like we understand each other's strengths and weaknesses.
That's so good.
So there are some areas that are not his strong point that he lets me lead those areas.
That's good.
Because husbands, they have to listen too.
Yeah.
I don't mean it that way, but I don't mean it that way.
What it is.
Because, for instance, for us, like, I'm good with numbers. I went to school to be an accountant, all that other good stuff. I ain't use it, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
I love numbers. So for me, the bills, the budget, like that just comes.
Yeah.
He probably couldn't even tell you what day the light bill was due. All he knows is he go to work, it goes in the account, and everything get paid, and we still got lights every 30 days, 31 days out of the month. Because we have to know each other's strengths and weaknesses. Yeah.
Right. That's so good because most of my married friends and girls that I talk to, they like manage the bills too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it's funny because it's like, it seems like a lot of couples go through that awkward
I
stage
used to
of
call
like,
him swiping, no swiping. Like,
Yeah.
I used to be looking at the account. Did you just swipe the debit card again? I got such and such coming out on the 15th. So now it's so funny. We joke about it, but it's the truth. Like our money goes together. Then there's an allowance. So your portion goes here, my portion goes there. You don't touch the one that's in the middle because that's where the bill's coming from. But we set that allowance.
That is so.
You're like, I had an allowance off my own money. Yes.
And it's like, it seems to me like a lot of couples go through that awkward stage of like the man trusting the woman to do that. Because I guess to some men they can feel like.
You know what? We coach a lot of couples. Like that's what we do. And that is one of the main things that men struggle with, like trusting a woman over their finances. Like I have a lot of married couples who don't have a joint account because they don't. And I'm like, so you trust her enough to lay up next to her every night?
She can take you out.
Listen, forget about your check. She can take you. How you trust somebody to lay next to them at night, but don't trust them with your paycheck? Something right. And if she's the one that's bad with the money, cool. But still, y'all should have some kind of mutual something.
Exactly. And it doesn't make him less of a man.
No.
Because she's
it makes him smarter.
Exactly. I feel
because
like
that's how the house supposed to balance. Like, if you don't let me do what I'm good at, then it's that area may not thrive.
Right.
But I got people who've been married for a long time, and the husbands refuse to even let their wife see a pay stub. Like, and I'm like, don't speak that over here.
Right.
We don't have those problems.
Period. Well, praise God for that. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so a little bit on motherhood. Like, what's 2 important things that you want to instill in your daughter?
Number 1, confidence.
Yes.
And as you know, she does.
And you're doing a great job.
She does.
Amazing job. Whatever you're doing, don't stop.
Look, she has confidence.
Yes.
I want her to know who she is now. I don't want her to wait until she's in her 30s and 40s to finally realize who she is and who God has created her to be. Well, I shouldn't say that was number 1. Number 1, I really want her to know who God is according to the Bible. And not who I say God is or who other people. Because religion taught me things that I had to unlearn, but I don't want her to have to go through that. And then number 2 is confidence, and sis, she got that part. And to love herself, love. Like I remember when she first started kindergarten, they have middle school there, and she said, one of the middle schoolers was talking about her forehead and was like, you look like you fell down. You got a big forehead. And she was so ashamed. And I was like, girl, that means you got a big brain and you smart. So when they say it again, you tell them,
I got a big brain.
listen, I got a big brain and I'm smart. So now she's like, oh, I ain't scared to go in there no more. So yeah, I'm excited. She's really standing up for herself. And that's something that nobody ever taught me. So I was always the shy, quiet one who just let people say whatever. And yeah, so I'm glad she got a backbone. Get a backbone!
Period. So you also had infertility issues, right?
Yeah.
So what was that process like for you? And like, you know, like just explain that.
So the thing about it is that they could never tell me why. Like, you know, some people, they say, oh, you got endometriosis, or you got polycystic, you know, all this other stuff. They could never find a reason why. They just, I wasn't ovulating. I wasn't getting pregnant. Like, I took every test there was under the sun. There was never anything to tell me why. So that was really heartbreaking for many years because, you know, in your 20s, you see everybody having kids, and then I'm like, I was married, I was in church, I was actually ordained. I'm like,
well, I can't have baby.
Right. Then I'm going to all these baby showers, and I ain't being funny, but in my mind, it was just like, these people just out here doing whatever they want to do, and they can get pregnant at the drop of a dime. And what really hurt me was when I had to walk friends through stuff like abortion, and I used to be like, God, like they don't even want them. And what I used to think, like, what have I done in my life so wrong that I can't? And you know, the enemy had me thinking, oh, it was because you started having sex young, as a teenager. You know, all this stuff was going through my mind, like I'm being punished. And then not only that, to have, you know, when we get into an argument, to be told you're not even a woman, you can't even have a baby, like stuff like that. So it was a lot. And the funny part about it is, after I gave up, here she came, because I'm like, listen, I'm 36. I don't want to be, you know, I'm traveling, we good. I had all these god kids. I had, you know, my stepdaughter at the time, we were raising Deshaun, and it was just a lot. And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I literally was good. Went to go get a physical, boom. She was like, I can't finish this physical. I can't do a pap on you. And I was like, why? Like, I'm scared. Like, why? What's wrong with me? She was like, you pregnant. And I was like, you lying. I was like, are you sure that was my pee? Like, y'all didn't mix it up with somebody else? Like, and I was in there crying. The room was spinning, because that's how much, the room felt like it was spinning. And she was like, is that a happy cry? She was scared. Is that a sad cry? Like, I'm like, no. Like, I literally went about 4 more tests, because I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. So yeah, I am. So now everybody's like, oh, y'all want it? No, I'm good.
And then this is my last one. Okay, so you also do business, like you do the baking and things like that. Were you nervous to start that? Was it just like
the baking?
Yeah, like you have a full-blown bit, or you don't do it anymore.
Yeah, I just started that in January.
Yes, period.
Hold on. Shameless plug, and my baby has her own pound cake mix. Get her into the entrepreneurship. So yeah, no, I'm back full time. That's why I was like, oh, I gotta get this cake out. Funny part about it is, I love to cook. So I always imagined me having some type of restaurant, food truck. Baking was never my thing. Like when I was going through the lowest, like I was really depressed or whatever. I believe God gave me baking to be like my saving grace. I remember coming home one night, it was like midnight, and I literally heard God give me the name of the business. And I was like, God, who you talking to? I don't even bake. Like, by the time I got home, the whole business was already in my head. And that was in 2012.
Wow. So you just started?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I just listen. Like, I'm one of those people to where, you know, you got some people that once they get an idea, they got to analyze it, they got to do this. I'm not one of those.
You just said, just do it.
I'll jump in.
And figure it out as you
go. And if it don't fly, let me see what made it flop. Like, I don't sit on, people be like, girl, you just be doing it. If I hear it, Let's do it.
Wow.
Let's do it.
I love that.
Let's do it.
Because I'm an overanalyzer.
Oh, see, and I have, like, you know, on my ministry, I have overanalyzers on my team, and they're necessary. They just can't be visionary.
Yeah.
Over the, you know,
Yeah.
because the visionary got to hear it just, this is what we're doing, because I heard God. So now you got the other people, okay, well, now we need to do blah, 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 blah. That's good, but I'm already on to the next vision.
Yeah.
While y'all giving me the steps for that one. Like, that's literally what happened with this Bahamas mission trip. Like, I clearly heard God say, y'all going to the Bahamas. Cool, I thought it was just for the retreat. After that, it became a whole mission. And it's like, oh, now we got to put it together. So, yeah.
Okay. And for anybody who may want to donate to that, do you have like a cash app or something?
Yes, we do. We have Zelle. It's sisterliftinc@gmail.com. The cash app is $sisterliftinc 501c3. We are an actual 501c3 nonprofit, so you can actually get a tax write-off for donating. But we need items for the kids. We need school clothes, backpacks, hygiene items, things like that. If anybody got an old laptop or TV, they need that for the school really, really bad. So that's what we're collecting right now. You know, all that other stuff. We good. I have a plethora of things.
What was your question?
All right, so my question to you is, what advice would you give my generation?
Okay, and you're not millennial, right?
Well, I'm 1980, so I'm on the cusp. I'm right. Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on which timeline you pull up.
Okay.
But I'm like the first of the millennials.
Yeah, you know.
And it's funny because everybody like put millennials in this. We old now, y'all. We old.
I think so. I think y'all just grown now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted to make it seem like y'all was the kids
Gonna be
for
babies
so long.
forever. Yeah.
Like they are grown. No, but I don't really understand y'all too much.
Okay. No, but
So-
that's what, like, we have to be able to bridge the gap. Like, the Bible says that the older women should teach the younger women.
Yes.
And I believe that has been a big disconnect, not just with mine and yours, but even with the generation before me. Like, and I'm like, if this is what the word says, why are we not doing this?
So that's what I would say. That's what I would say my advice is. I would say be more intentional about reaching back for the, you know, younger generation.
Okay, that's my heart.
Yeah, like, I mean, and I get it, cause like y'all be doing y'all own thing, which is good. It's good to like, you know, be in ministry and like, you know, do what y'all do, but also just like be mindful of the fact that we don't know what we doing and we trying to figure it out too. So just consider us a little bit.
And millennials, y'all heard her. And Gen X.
Yeah.
Don't like shun them.
Right. Don't judge us, cause you did it too.
We did it too.
Hey, don't do it.
It just wasn't on social media.
Exactly.
I don't know. They come
Y'all,
y'all.
that's another thing. Y'all having too much fun judging us on social media. Like y'all wasn't doing it too, bro. Like, oh my god.
You know, I don't. Not y'all, not me.
Yeah,
I ain't judging
not
you.
you.
I ain't judging y'all.
That's what I love about you. Like, you're very real and you like very like, listen, girl, we done been there. Don't let nobody judge you.
Listen.
Like, I love that.
They say I talk too much, but they say I share too much, but I don't care. Like, I literally don't
We
care.
be needed to hear that. That's the stuff we need to hear. Like, bro, I was talking to my friend. For you to just be like, don't get married young. Well, why not? You include everything in there. Tell us why. You don't have control over your emotions at such a young age. Like,
really
just
don't.
stuff like that. We need to know that.
A lot. Not just emotions, but hormones.
Yes.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It takes maturity, and a lot of us aren't mature yet at that age. Like, that's
But
why
then,
they don't want us.
for the ones that we do share it with, though, they don't always want to hear that.
That's true.
And they be like, I am mature, I am ready, I am
That
blah,
is
blah,
true.
blah, blah. So it's kind of like we got to listen to each other.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then, but it's also, you don't know that you're not mature until you've been in certain situations.
You don't.
Because I thought I was mature. Child.
You don't know till you know.
You don't know till you know. Till you've been there, till you've been through it.
That's true.
Yeah. Did you have any other questions?
No.
Okay.
That was it.
Well,
I just like to bridge the gap. That's just me. Like,
we need more of this for sure.
We do.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna leave all the information down below in the bio for y'all to like donate and all that good stuff. And yeah, see y'all next time. Bye.